Have you seen that meme, How Social Media Works? I'm gonna post it right here if you haven't seen it, but basically, it's this comment of, I prefer mangoes to oranges, with the reply being very pointed. You're essentially saying that you don't like oranges, and what about all these other fruits, and educate yourself. I'm shaking. Like, just no room for nuance. And to be honest, the reality of being human and having a human experience in that answers aren't binary. The truth or the reality lies within this spectrum of various perspectives and experiences. For example, we learn the colors of the rainbow, but the rainbow is a gradient of light spectrums that flow from one into the next. They're not hard lines of different colors. Social media has enhanced the need for our minds, the safety that our minds feel and that our physical human body experiences when we agree on a singular answer. But there may be many singular answers, or there may be one way to get to a singular answer. Have you heard of this new math thing? I always thought math was, that's the answer, but there are so many ways to get there. Not only are we, as a society, as a collective, wired to, for safety, agree on an answer, we've also been trained. Even when we have a knowing, many of us are diligently trained to ask someone who we either perceive to have more authority or someone who has perceived themselves to have more authority. We look to them to confirm the correct answer. I'm going to take a teeny tiny soapbox here to share a story that illustrates this. So I was recently listening to a podcast, and the host and the interviewee, or the guest, were having a conversation about the shaman that they've been working with. And I want to highlight that the way they were speaking about this shaman was very much about this shaman helping them to cultivate their inner knowings and their own guidance system. And so I was like, this is great. This is awesome. We need more of these spiritual teachers helping other people to tune into and trust their own knowing. And then the guest was sharing a story about how they had had this experience with an archangel. And they told this whole story about all of these instances, and so much as like the archangel essentially telling this person who they were. And this person then said, but I haven't confirmed it yet because I haven't had a chance to talk to this shaman yet. I was like, are you kidding? You've just spoken about this shaman teaching you how to be more connected with your own knowings. You've just shared this whole story about how this archangel essentially told you exactly who they were and confirmed for you that they were present in this situation. And you still have been so well trained, and you are still diligently such a good student that you must still ask for confirmation? And it just blew my mind. And at the same time, we all do it. At the same time, I'm not faulting this person at all, because we all do it. We all look for external reassurance that we are on the right path, that something has come up and it makes sense. We are all looking for external affirmation and confirmation. And something that I personally feel we all need more practice on, and I hope you're getting from these teachings that I share on this channel. If you are not yet subscribed, click that little subscribe button and the notification bell and give the videos a thumbs up. You know the drill, all the fun stuff. If you're enjoying these videos, of course. But something that I really deeply feel that we all need more practice with is centered around our ability to expand our perceptions, expand the possibilities, and to trust ourselves more. Our souls are infinite, and our souls have had many human experiences before, and in between human experience lives have had other lives and experiences and non-human lives and experiences, and soul time, we are infinitely capable and aware, and we do not need to put our trust, our worth, the worth of our minds and our thoughts and our concepts on someone external who has deemed themselves to know more, because that creates a binary, singular, focused awareness versus all of us bringing our perceptions and our experiences from this life and other lives to a challenge. Instead of seeing all the nuanced options, all the nuanced possibilities, we're funneled into a single viewpoint. And I find, unfortunately, this happens a lot in the spiritual community. So I really hope to be a voice for more views, more perspectives, even though I am not perfect. And I'm going to be running through later on in this video a series of filters, of tests, of checkpoints that I personally use when I'm trying to not snap to a judgment or a conclusion when somebody else has something that challenges my belief system or my way of seeing things. And really what this all comes down to is a trust of ourselves and the ability to be discerning of information that is filtering into us. And there is a lot of information that is filtering into us. And I'm going to link this podcast down in the description box below, but recently I was chatting with a friend on her podcast, and I shared a message for the listener collective there. And the message that came through was how there were so many external voices and influences trying to distract the energies and trying to pull the energies in different distracting directions, and how important it is for us to refocus our energy and our awareness in what is meaningful, where we truly want to focus our energy, and to recognize that there are others who are using some methods to distract and to build up their own view and their own way of interacting with the world, instead of allowing us and teaching us to understand from our own experiences and trusting our own infinite soul wisdom and knowledge. And obviously, these past 2 years have been a highlight of distractions and opposing views, and honestly, the best and the worst in humanity, and just incredible amounts of division. And it's not to say that this hasn't existed before, because it has. These past 2 years have resurfaced a lot that had been pushed to the side or kept quiet because we thought we were doing better than we actually are. And it's our work to recognize these divisions, this othering, as distractions. And this is especially true as we move forward and focus our energy, attention, and awareness on cultivating and building this energy of love and compassion and empathy and elevating our energies. Okay, I have so much to say on this and could tangent on for a very long time. However, I want to share with you these checkpoints, these practices that I currently totally unconsciously use, but have cultivated and built up as a way to help me to stay grounded and present, and to recognize the nuance of life and the ability for us to disagree while still recognizing our humanity, still recognizing a nuance to something. So these filters, tests, whatever we're calling them, and I don't think this is a fully exhaustive list, so let me know down in the comments if there are any that you use in your practice. But some of mine are, what is my reaction to this belief or perspective? Like, I'm becoming aware of my reaction, as I've said countless times before, and will say countless more times. We can't alter or change or create something different when we aren't aware of it, when it's unconscious. So I bring it into consciousness. What is my reaction here? I also ask myself, is this conflicting with a value of mine? Does this impact a value system of mine? And again, I'm just bringing awareness to it. I especially recognize that I get quite fiery about things that impact a core belief system or a core belief that I have. And so for me, a really strong filter that I run something through is, could this or does this cause harm to others, to animals, to the environment? Or does this negatively impact a group of people? And something else I've used so much, especially in these past 2 years, is this something that I want to direct my energy towards? Like, is this something that I want to allow to be part of my energy field? I also bring awareness to, this is one perspective, and awareness to, this is my perspective. And I challenge myself to see if I can see a way to their perspective. And I usually always circle back to, does this cause harm to others? Or does it have the potential to cause harm to others? I also ask myself, what is a compassionate way to respond to this? Or how could I differently phrase this? I also ask myself about something I've spoken about previously in this video, is this eliciting a control over others? Usually in that place, I ask myself a question around, what is that soul experience there? Like, what is the soul wisdom? Or I have this little card that says, how does the soul see this? And that helps me to reframe things quite often when I look at it from a soul perspective. And then I can circle back around to, it's okay for something to be nuanced and for there to be multiple points of view and perspectives and experiences, and for me to still disagree with it. And as I said, I am not perfect. So I do have this kind of system that I subconsciously go through. But at the same time, there are things that I just 100%, and this is that first and final point, there can be nuances and it can still be wrong. There can be nuances and it can still be wrong. It can still be harmful to others. And I also still don't necessarily have to direct all of my energy and attention towards something, even when I strongly disagree with it, even if it is strongly opposed to my core values and to what I believe is our soul paths here. This is still a practice for me. This is still a practice for you. This is still a practice for all of us. And it requires deepening our trust in ourselves and not being distracted and influenced and not seeking somebody external to ourselves to tell us what to believe, how to behave. So to wrap this up, because I feel like it kind of needs a succinct wrap up in this particular instance, my hope in sharing this with you is, one, for you to be able to deepen and cultivate further that connection and that love with yourself and your own inner knowing and your own inner guidance system, your own discernment and ability to be aware of what you know to be true. And for us as a collective to work together on our personal work so that we can continue to move forward in this spiritual and energetic growth, so that we are not divided through these practices of othering or making wrong or separating from each other based on a perceived yes or no, right or wrong answer. And through that, we'll be able to show more love and compassion and nuanced understanding towards others and eventually raise that collective energy. So in summary, when something feels off, it probably is trust yourself. When you know something, when something feels conflicting or correct even, run it through a few of your filters and a few of your checks and trust yourself. And question others' motivations and the usage of division, and are you getting caught up in that? And trust yourself. When you know the answer, trust yourself. Okay. I could probably say more, but I'm going to stop because I feel like I may have already overshared on this one. Let me know down in the comments how this all resonates with you, if you like this kind of stuff. If you like my perspectives and you want some individual one-on-one work, whether that be coaching or reading, I know it's weird to say that when I've just said trust yourself. Sometimes it's really great to have a reflection. So I'm not your answers, but sometimes I can reflect. So anyway, if you like all of that, you can check out the link down in the description box, and you know the drill for YouTube. Click the subscribe button, notification bell, give the video a thumbs up, share it out with your people, and I will see you in the next video.